The Lightyear writer, the new movie Lightyear writer, defends film's lesbian couple after Snoop Dogg critique. I am proud of it. Let me play what Snoop had to say, because the way Snoop Dogg's comments read versus how they sound when you actually listen to the audio, this was to me taken way out of context, blown way out of proportion. But they coming for his head. Let me play what he had to say.
Took my grandson to see.
I'm gonna say correction, more than one woman. Well, what's the other ones? I only know one. I haven't followed it that closely, but the one I know is all the way back then. Let me play this right quick. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. All right, I should be back now. All right, sorry, y'all. All right, let's get back to it. This is Snoop's comments on the new movie.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear?
Toy Story?
Not that one, but
the new Buzz. The Lightyear. I think it's called Lightyear.
Yeah, with Kiki Palmer's in that movie.
Okay.
She plays like the daughter. So we watching it, and the lady, which is Kiki's mama, they move on into the space years. They move down the line. They're like, man, she had a baby with a woman. Well, my grandson in the middle of the movie like, Papa Snoop, how she have a baby with a woman? She a woman. Oh, shit. I didn't come in for this shit. I just came to watch the goddamn movie. Hey, man, watch the movie. They just said she had a baby. They both women's. How did she have a baby? Shh. The movie ain't over with. So it's like, it fucked me. I'm scared to go to the movies now. Like, y'all throwing me in the middle of shit that I don't have an answer for.
Out of said this recent mess he was dealing with was a new character unlocked. Stop playing with. I will say this too. To the people wishing on his downfall, what's going to happen when he turns to a full-time content creator? To a lot of the people who trying to build their platforms and push their agendas and ideologies, what happened if he turned full-time content creator and no longer has the baggage of their school on him? I'm just be careful what you ask for. But Virginia says on Facebook, I told George the only people who can see Umar as a coon is dumb Negroes who can't see Umar as a coon are dumb niggas who insist on supporting him. George accused me of throwing you, Travis, under the bus. Well, you is kind of calling me a coon. I'm not saying I don't see. I can see, obviously I see the obvious why people are saying what they're saying. I'm not that far gone. I'm just saying maybe I'm giving him way too much of a leash. Maybe that's what it is. He called me a dumb Negro. But this Snoop situation, it sounded like he was being very lighthearted about it. Like, hey man, don't put me in between having to talk about this with my grandkid. I just want to come see a movie. It's a Lightyear movie. It shouldn't be this type of content in it. That's just his opinion, and I share that opinion. And they trying to get his job. What's the name of that show he's on? The Voice, I think it is. They trying to get him removed, and they call him all type of homophobic and stuff. And it's like, man, a man can't want to go see a kid's movie without having certain content in it where he had to have certain conversations he's not comfortable having at the moment. Like, we don't even know his actual views on this. He could be completely pro whatever's in the movie, but I don't want to have to talk to this about my grandson. Maybe when he's old, I don't care, but I just didn't want to talk about it at the time. But they ain't giving him they're giving him no whatchamacallit. So I want to share someone else talking about it. Because they obviously have been doing this to all the movies you can think of. Them Disney, we're not surprised by Disney at all and the stuff they're putting in their films. When you go back, sometimes it was even worse back in the day. I'm not going to play all of this. I'm just going to play some of this. Let me play a little bit of this. Hold on.
Recently, and talked about taking his grandkids to go see the Lightyear movie a couple years ago.
I took my grandson to see, what was the movie with Buzz Lightyear? That movie.
So a couple of things here. This is another example of why I told you that we should have gone out to see the Lightyear movie in droves, okay? Because this is what happened. The movie came in light, and then it was carte blanche for everybody to like criticize the movie, whatever. Oh, we'll go broke, whatever. Put that to the side. I'm going to do something for the homies, for all of the homies, other older homies. I'm going to tell them two things. One, just so you know, it's your job to explain things to kids.
Yeah, but what if I don't want to explain it now? It wasn't necessary to have this in the movie. That's the point. Not saying that people don't, whether you support it or not is not the point. Why is it here? It doesn't make sense. You're purposely trying to introduce it to children at this point. This is on purpose, obviously. Trey says, so what Snoop said was that toxic masculinity Tracy Ellis Ross was talking about. Apparently, and I find it funny that Van try to make it seem like this is only the older man who believe this talking point or agree with this. And we just got to stop doing this, man. And talk about a person who was not quite who you thought they were. I remember when Van Lathan first left TMZ and he had all the support. Oh, start your own podcast. We're going to move with you. And though he has a successful platform, it's so unfortunate how often he ends up on certain sides of these social media topics, because this ain't really a real thing in the real world. How often he's on the side of just this extremely liberal thinking. It's just, this never ends well, particularly for black men. Virginia says, I did realize I was talking about you and what you stated about hard to release be a black man loyalty once you give it makes sense. It's nuance. Yeah, that's why when you see Umar asking his black women to give him money, and then I saw the video, I think was talking about, where he asked for money and then some dude said something and he said, don't get mad if your baby mama, your girl, or your wife will give me money. He started going in on the dude. Funny enough, that's Umar. That's why he goes viral, because he goes back and forth. He's funny to some people. He talks junk. But I understand the optics of that. I get it. Mark said, what if you can't explain it to your kids? Well, you can always explain it. It's the point of, do you want to explain it in a way that softens it, or do you want to be blunt and say this is some BS they pushing on us and you shouldn't support it? Or you going to say, hey, sometimes it's yada, that type of thing. Ashley said, how easy would it have been to take up his grandson and leave? Come on now. Well, see, that's the thing. He could have just left. But when you're in America, at least as a consumer, if I go to a movie and something pops up on the screen I don't like and I just leave, then that could solve the issue for me. What if it's 10,000, 100,000, 1 million people that have the same opinion? Like, why is this in the movie? It's nothing wrong with coming online or going to some type of forum or something and letting it be known, hey, we don't want this in the movie, especially if you didn't know it was in there. Now, I don't know if it was already well known that it was in the movie through trailers or something. I didn't see it. But if something pops up in a movie that I didn't think it would be in that movie, and now it's here, now regardless if I leave now, my grandson is asking me these questions that he wasn't asking me yesterday. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with at least voicing your opinion on that. Anonymous says his choice to co-host wasn't your first. Yeah, I remember. She's divorced now, ain't she? So that didn't end well for her, at least. That didn't end well, but it should have been. But you want to support certain people, when black people do the whole, martyr thing, and we feel like they're being done wrong. We throw our support behind them, and then they keep doing stuff. You just go, why you do that? Why you do that? And at some point, you just check out, like, all right, bro. You know who I thought were. But anyway, speaking of struggling for support, hold on. I want to talk about this now.